You're listening to IWW Radio, coming to you from Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada. And in the house today, we have Paul Wootton and Stephen Foster. Stephen and Paul, welcome to the show.
How you doing, Fred?
Hey, Fred, thanks.
Just fine, actually. And, yeah, it's a little nippy outside, but we'll make it through. Paul, can you tell us a little bit about your history and how this all began for you in this business?
Yeah, sure. Well, I've been in the business for a long time, but something that will probably fit into the length of this is I started in a band called the Crawling King Snakes back in the mid-'80s in London, Ontario. And it was a band that got a lot of attention at the time from various record labels and stuff. We got some management and started traveling all over Canada. Mm-hmm. We managed to botch it up pretty bad. and we played quite a few times in Hamilton, and that's where I ended up moving to.
Cool.
Because I love the place, and the musical scene here, especially at that time, was just totally flourishing. And Steve and I hooked up, and when I moved the band down to Hamilton, we started to write songs and put a band together from Hamilton musicians, and put out some albums, do some writing together, and Steve's like a sound engineer as well, so he did most of the recording end of it.
Yep.
And I did most of the writing end, but we do co-write songs together as well. So that's, in a nutshell, that was about a 10-year trip with the King Snakes.
Wow.
And then I, over time, in the last few years, we've regrouped, and Steve and I, and put together the ideas and the recordings and the people for the Lowdown Dirty Mojos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was listening to, like I said, some of the stuff there, and to me, I got a good cross of, Tom Petty and Doug and the Slugs, and let's just say, let's not undermine them, because
right.
They've done very well, and in this market and other markets and so on. But no, I really dig the stuff, rhythm and blues, and that's probably what it is. That's the rhythm and blues from both of them are probably meshing together, and that's what the feeling that I'm getting. Stephen, how did you get into this business?
I was a guitar player around Hamilton. I was playing, for various people. Typical start the high school band, and then I moved into the music scene pretty quick. And then I guess when I met Paul, I probably was playing for somebody else when I met Paul. I think we opened up for him, but I ran into him again when I was in between projects later on, and that's when he had moved to Hamilton. We started sitting around the kitchen table at first, essentially, and just kind of writing some new stuff. I had a lot of material from the past lineup to learn. So I bet you for almost the first year that Paul and I got together, it was mostly just sitting around the kitchen table and picking the guys that we were going to use for the rhythm section, etc.
Great. All right, well, let's move on to the first tune here. Can't Get Enough. Good luck.
Can't have enough good luck.
I got a mojo, baby, to stop your hoodoo. Got a rabbit foot, honey, a chicken bone too. Find a horseshoe, baby, to stop your hoodoo. Got a rabbit foot, honey, a chicken bone too. Found a horseshoe, baby, got my Johnny Cockaroo. Can't have enough good luck, girl, when it comes to you. It's bigger than me, bigger than you. I need real good luck when it comes to you. It's bigger than me, bigger than you. I need real good luck when it comes to you.
You're listening to IWW Radio, coming to you from Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada. And in the house today, we have Paul Wootton and Stephen Foster from the Lowdown Dirty Mojos. And that song that we just heard, Can't Have Enough Good Luck. Paul, tell us how that song was born.
One of the themes for the Mojos is kind of like that swampy hoodoo gumbo, that kind of a thing. So this is all about that kind of good luck charm or bad luck charm in a relationship, and that's basically what the song kind of deals with.
Right. Stephen, what do you have to say about the song? How are you involved in it?
Well, lyrically, I didn't have much. I had no input really on that. Paul had the lyrics together, so and the basic shell of the song. Usually, a lot of times we get together, one or the other will have the shell of the song, and then when we start to sit down acoustically and work it out, that's when all the arranging starts to come together. Intros and all that kind of stuff. We kind of break it down to the nuts and bolts and then put it back together.
Perfect. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Mercy, Mercy.
Searching for the crossroads preacher on a dark and lonesome road. I want to be a true believer, a voodoo daddy with a heart of gold. I said, mercy, mercy, preacher's coming and it won't be long. I said, mercy, mercy, he's coming and it won't be long. He's coming and it won't be long. I'm searching for the crossroads preacher, Dr. Yaya and the shiny lights. Sermon don't start till midnight. I say, right on, doctor, gonna testify. I said, mercy, mercy, preacher's coming and it won't be long. I said, mercy, mercy, he's coming and it won't be long. He's coming and it won't be long. preacher on a dark and lonesome road. I want to be a true believer, a voodoo daddy with a heart of gold. I said, mercy, mercy, preacher's coming and it won't be long. I said, mercy, mercy, he's coming and it won't be long. He's coming and it won't be long. I'm searching for the crossroads preacher. Mercy, mercy, testify. I want to be a true believer. Mercy, mercy, gonna testify. I'm searching for the crossroads preacher. Mercy, mercy, testify. I want to be a true believer. Mercy, mercy, gonna testify. Searching for the crossroads preacher. Mercy, mercy, testify. I want to be a true believer. Mercy, mercy, gonna testify. I'm searching for the crossroads preacher. Mercy, mercy, testify. I want to be a true believer. Mercy, mercy, gonna testify.
You're listening to IWW Radio, coming to you from Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada. And that was Mercy, Mercy. Paul, Stephen, what do you have to say about that song?
It's a little bit like, Robert Johnson going down to the crossroads type of thing. It's, someone who's out looking for some help.
Okay. So how did that song come about? For our listeners, what were you thinking that day that you started your lyrics or started a riff?
Well, two of the main things that I try to keep consistent with what I'm doing with my writing is I'm right now with the MOJOs. I'm trying to keep a theme of that hoodoo, good luck, bad luck type of thing, and include Canadian and local ideas into material as well, like the Prince of Pod off of this album, and there's Lifers is another one that's about traveling across Canada. So that's what I try to do with the songs that I'm writing, is to include those two elements into it. And Mercy, Mercy falls into that MOJO type of thing.
Excellent. Let's move on to the next one. Blow, Wind, Blow.
Like the click of a Zippo in the silence of the night. In a black leather jacket, rock and roll's dressed to fight. Yeah, it's time to raise your voice. When there's a hard wind blowing, you don't have a choice. Just what the hell is going on? Don't need your monkey business all day long. When there's a hard wind blowing, you don't have a choice. Been standing in back for a long time now. Standing in back, watching your world go down. Yeah, music's broken. Yeah, it's born to lose. Gotta get yourself some good time rockin' rhythm and blues. Just what the hell is going on? Don't need your monkey business all day long. When there's a hard wind blowing, you don't have a choice. Blow, wind, blow. a black leather jacket, rock and roll's dressed to fight. Yeah, it's time to raise your voice. When there's a hard wind blowing, you don't have a choice. Just what the hell is going on? Don't need that monkey business all day long. When there's a hard wind blowing, you don't have a choice. Blow, wind, blow. I keep a blowing all night long. Blow, wind, blow. I keep a blowing all night long. Blow, wind, blow. Keep a blowing all night long. Blow, wind, blow. Keep a blowing all night long. Yeah, blow, wind, blow. I keep a blowing all night long. Blow, wind, blow. Keep a blowing all night long. Blow, wind, blow. Keep a blowing all night long. Blow, wind, blow. Keep a blowing all night long.
You're listening to IWW Radio, coming to you from Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada. And that was Blow, Wind, Blow. Paul, fill us in on that one, on how that was born.
Blow, Wind, Blow is again. Oops, something's going up there. It's another kind of hoodoo. With the. That's really what it is. I'm trying to write songs. I'm not trying to be like
Hoodoo, not voodoo, right? No.
I'm trying to be not the singer-songwriter. I'm trying to just be a songwriter. Write songs. So
You know what, Paul? Just be yourself. Go ahead.
Yep.
No.
That's what I'm trying to be.
Oh, God.
So
Yeah.
really, again, it's about it's about good luck, bad luck. That's what a lot of this stuff's all about.
Yeah. All right. So where can our listeners, do you have a website, CDs available? What platforms are you on?
Yes, our album is available on vinyl and CD and a digital download on Bandcamp.
Right.
It's available probably, the album, at least in the Hamilton area, London area, is available in most independent record stores. We would like to have that out with a wider market. But, but at our shows, plus we have T-shirts for merchandise as well. And you got anything to put to that, Steve?
What's that about the album itself?
Or, merchandise and product.
Website.
Oh, yeah. Well, yes.
I know. I'm just...
LOWDOWN.com. .com, yeah. You can order merch through that as well.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And we have a Facebook page.
Yeah.
A very active Facebook page, actually. And you can find us on Bandcamp, SoundCloud, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, most of the usual places. Those are the only really online distribution that we're doing right now on this record.
Okay.
So actually, the physical sales are beating it anyways.
Cool.
At shows and through word of mouth and stuff.
So where can our listeners see you play, and what dates do you have coming up?
Well, we're in London on March the 4th, Saturday, March the 4th at the Richmond.
No, it's the 7th.
The 7th, yes.
He was close.
Yeah.
March 7th, we're at the Richmond.
March the 7th at the Richmond with Boy From Nowhere, great London band. And then on the 13th of March, we're at Stonewall's in Hamilton.
Cool.
And then also in Hamilton, April the 4th, we have, Steve and I have a dinner show at the Mississippi Clean Foods. And that's April the 4th, Saturday, April 4th. So that's pretty much sold out. I think there's just one ticket left on that show. But if anybody wants to rush out and get it, because as far as I know, there's one left.
Yeah, excellent. All right. Well, gentlemen, I want to thank you, Stephen and Paul, for being on the show today.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, but thanks for having us.
Great. And you can catch them, in Hamilton and around the area. They'll probably be at some of the festivals, the Lowdown Dirty Mojos. You've been listening to IWW Radio, coming to you from Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada. Have a great day.